Good afternoon. My name is Katie McPherson. Do you consider yourself to be someone who knows the values and benefits of hard work? Perhaps you are familiar with these values, and you have either benefited from them personally, or you know someone close to you who has. I myself am very familiar with the effects of perseverance and commitment to hard work. I am currently a supervisor in the Food Nutrition Services Department at Mercy Medical Center. I did not start in this position, however. I had to work very hard, and I had to prove to many others along the way that I deserved to be where I am today. I would like to discuss with you today how I currently earned and formed my abilities and skills that I now have, how my abilities and morals have been influenced by my current position, and how these skills and values will shape me in the future. I have worked at Mercy for the past 10 years. I was hired as a dish room worker when I was 18 years old. Through my commitment to excellence in my professional life, and also through my commitment to the skills in my personal life, I was able to advance myself throughout the department. I would currently describe myself as a successful, responsible adult. However, it didn't always start out that way. I would like to talk a little bit about my background. I got my first job when I was 14 years old. I wanted a cell phone, and my dad didn't consider that to be a need. So I had to earn the money if I wanted to pay for it, if I wanted to have a cell phone. Another thing I had to do was save up for at least half of my first car. A lot of the friends around me were given cars on their 16th birthday. And while my parents could have afforded to do that, they thought that I should value the purchase and earn the money myself. I moved out when I was 17 years old after graduating high school. I first started going to Kirkwood right after that, and I dropped out almost immediately after that. The deal was, at first, as long as I was going to school, all of my bills would be paid by my parents. But as soon as I dropped out, they made it very clear that I was now expected to enter the workforce yet again and to pay for all of my own bills and provide for myself if I chose not to get an education. After these experiences, my responsibility had a strong foundation, but there was still room for much improvement. In my search for a job to now support myself living alone, I applied at Mercy Medical Center on a whim and happened to be hired. As I mentioned before, I started out as a dish room worker. I was only guaranteed 16 hours per week, and it wasn't a very promising opportunity at the time. But through the values that I had learned by working at such a young age, earning my own money, and saving up for the things that I wanted, and then seeing the values and benefits of those things, I proved myself to be a skilled and valued worker, and I was promoted very quickly to a title called room service technician. And a room service technician is basically, I think of it as a hospital waitress. So going around taking food orders from patients, delivering trays, knowing diet orders, recording intakes, those kind of things. And I spent 7 years in this role. I went through many changes at Mercy, and I saw them go through the flood of 2008, and I went through many management changes, and I continued to work really hard. I always went above and beyond my current job duties and expectations. I even filled out, it's called REACH, a goal for employees to fulfill if they would like a bonus. And it essentially entails building a portfolio of all of the ways that you have gone above and beyond your job duties. When I was 23 years old, after doing this job, I think I was in it for about 5 years at that point, I thought to myself, this isn't what I want to do the rest of my life. I knew I had the potential and the skills to be better and to do better things. So when I was 23, I went back to school. I went to a completely online school. I earned my associate's degree in human resource management. And this was one of the building blocks that allowed me to interview for and eventually get the supervisor position that I hold today. Looking back now, it almost seems fate that I was hired at Mercy Medical Center. I never would have dreamed when I first began as a dish room worker that it would turn into what it has today. After 3 years as a supervisor, I have learned to help others, and it has also helped to shape me further as an adult. In this position, I have an increased responsibility. I'm expected to set an example for others and to correct others when they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. I'd always prided myself on my skills and abilities as a worker, and always relied on them for my success. And it was definitely a new challenge to rely on others for my success. Another thing I had to do was learn how to coach others and teach others in new positions and roles that they may not have had before. I had to adjust my expectations. I have a very high standard as far as when it comes to excellence. And I had to realize that other people just don't always have that standard. They don't always see things the way that I do, or expect that things get done the way that I think they should be, which is okay sometimes, and it has to be. I also had to accept the differences in opinions of other employees. It was very interesting to make everyone come together as a team, but it has been very rewarding at the same time. Overall, my progression throughout the department has taught me a lot about myself and others. I have enjoyed the challenges that I have faced, and I believe I have become a better person because of them. Since I was 14 years old, I learned what it was to work for and value something. I continued these behaviors and applied them to every goal and skill that I set myself up for in the future. And it has allowed me to grow in both my personal and professional life and to get me where I am today. Everyone has their own personal story of perseverance and hard work. I mean, we're all in this class today, and I can imagine that you all can understand the joy and pride that I feel in the way that I've grown and succeeded in my current position. As I approach graduation in May and the end of my classes next March, I am consistently reflecting on the ways that I have gotten to where I am today, and I'm thankful for the hard work and the values that that were instilled in me when I was young. I don't think that I would be able to get where I am today if I had not been taught these things. Through advancing in my professional life, it has given me the confidence to grow and succeed in my personal life. I hope that you all have enjoyed my speech today. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.